Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This one is going to be a channel update. As you could probably already tell, videos have been getting uploaded on this channel less and less consistently for these past couple months, and then in the last month I think I made like 1 or 2 videos, and I just wanted to be as transparent with you guys as I could be. And the first thing that I want to say is just thank you to everyone who has supported my channel, who's watched all my Smash Ultimate content. I think we've made an amazing community here. I really do like this Discord as well. People are still actively using that to this day, even though I'm not uploading as much. And I just think it's a really positive space. People are uplifting. It's just not what I usually see in the Ultimate scene. And trust me, we'll get to that in just a second. So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who has supported my channel, who has been a part of this community, and just made it a space that I think is positive in the Smash Ultimate community, which again is not something that you find super common nowadays. So yeah, thank you to everyone who's watched my stuff, my rival stuff too. I'll talk about that a little bit later on into the video, but of course, let's address Smash Ultimate. So let's talk about Smash Ultimate, and for people that just care about me for Smash Ultimate, this is going to be the last time you really see me talk about this on my channel, so you can just unsub now. Thanks for being here along the way. But there's a multitude of reasons that I'm taking a step back from Ultimate. And first things first, most importantly, is just my investment with the game. When Smash Ultimate came out, it was the first Smash game that kind of released when I knew Smash games were releasing, so that was really exciting for me. It was the first game period that I got into esports for, so I was really invested in that scene, and because of that I spent so much time on Smash Ultimate, and I took a lot of time to know the top scene and get really involved in all these players. And I was really passionate when it came to watching these events. Like, it mattered to me which of these top players were winning events, versus nowadays, it still matters to me, of course, but it's more so, you know, did I actually get these predictions right? Did this come close to how I thought the bracket would unfold? Versus just, I really want this guy to win because I love him as a player. So the biggest motivator for when I initially made this channel was just passion as a spectator of the game, as a fan of these players talking about it, and throughout time, I did lose that. It just happens, especially if it's going to be something that you're talking about every single week. So that's just something that happened throughout time. And that's something that was inevitable. I was always going to slowly lose interest, slowly on a decline. And a big reason that I think I had a big loss in interest is because I transitioned from viewing the game as a fan of the game more so to analyzing the game. Not really watching these players because I wanted to see them win, but just because I wanted to see how they would do, how they would perform. So I do think that's a big reason. That's no one's fault, of course, so that is just what happened. But what is definitely someone's fault, no one in particular, it's the whole scene's fault, is just the environment that I think has been cultivated with Smash Ultimate. And again, this is specifically online. Obviously, everyone's local scene is going to be different, and they might have a great community. But online, Smash Ultimate, and the way this community represents itself, it's a fucking joke. It's an embarrassment, and it's a really big reason of why I stepped away from the competitive smashing. And this is that every single level. This is the top players, this is analysts, this is commentators, this is TOs, this is 2-2ers, this is O2. Every single level of play. It is just so fucking annoying to listen to these people complain and complain and complain. And that's all you guys do. All you do. Like, I think a great example of this is recently on Twitter, there was a discourse around Luminosity and how they are like a parasite on this Smash Ultimate scene and how they don't really contribute anything. And by no means are they a perfect org. They've been late to pay out some players. They, for some reason, keep scheduling events when prominent events are already supposed to be happening, splitting the competition there. Not a perfect org. But you have to be such a fucking idiot. And I mean a fucking idiot! Idiot! So brain dead, like actually so brain dead, to think this org is detrimental to Smash Ultimate. Let's think about Tier 1 Smash Ultimate in North America. You have Shopify Rebellion, and you have Luminosity Gaming, and then Spargo's on FaZe. That's fucking it. That's all the Tier 1 sponsors that we have. But what we're doing is we're going on Twitter and we're saying that this org is a detriment to the scene because they've been late to pay. They're the only org still making content as well, period, for Smash Ultimate, period. The only one still making content for the game. It's just like this community is so entitled, so cynical, and so genuinely stupid that they just represent themselves in a way where it makes it impossible to want to associate with them. And on the topic of Twitter, let's talk about Steve. And personally, I don't mind Steve that much. Like, he isn't even an option that I really consider for why I'm leaving Smash Ultimate. Like, Steve I don't mind watching him that much as a spectator. Like, it sucks when they beat my favorite player, but at least it's a character that you can play in a multitude of styles, and you have so many options at your disposal that you don't fully know what the Steve is going to do. So I don't mind watching the character. But I can totally understand hate watching the character. Like, he is very uninteractive. Playing against him in bracket as well sounds like a nightmare. I absolutely can understand that. And I do think that Steve has gotten to the point where the character could be justified for a ban. I don't think he was a couple years ago. At this point, though, yeah, I think you could justify him for a ban. But regardless of that, every time you see a Steve clip on Twitter, it's just like the comments and the quote retweets, all they talk about is how carried that player is and how they suck and how the clip's not that impressive. And it's just like, why? Why is this all we're fucking doing? Why are we not hyping up sick clips when we see them? And it's the same thing for like a Game & Watch clip or a Sonic clip or a Kazuya clip. Like any clip from like a typical good character or an easier character, you're carried, you're washed, you're never that good anyway. It doesn't matter. I'd be able to beat you in Smash 4. Shut the fuck up. Just let people post things online without shitting on them constantly. Hey, I hit this sick clip at my local. Well, actually, you play Steve and you're dog shit. Shut up! Like, it's just so frustrating, and you see it constantly. And you have people that are, like, creators on the website at this point, and that's all they fucking do is just, like, rip off of Steve players. It's just really frustrating to watch. So it's not even the Steve players themselves that have been such a big deterrent in Smash Ultimate. It's that everyone just won't shut the fuck up about how much they hate these Steve players, and they just can't get over someone picking the best character in a competitive video game to win. They can't fathom that. That concept doesn't make sense to them. And I have to hear about it. And again, it's not just Steve. All the discussions I see on Twitter have this very negative underline, like Shoe Stats. Huge shout outs to Shoe Stats. He does great work. I think he's got a YouTube channel now as well, so check him out if you want more Ultimate content. But he posts a ton of stuff on Twitter, and he does like hype tier lists. He does like a difficulty tier list, just fun stuff like that. But even that kind of stuff is just surrounded in this discourse and this plague of like, well, Steve is way too high on the skill list. Obviously, that character's brain dead. Why is he not the easiest one in the game? Or like, it's really frustrating. Even when people are making content that's fun and interactive, people just want to suck away and just talk about the parts of the game that they don't like. And it's really annoying. And it's a big reason of why I'm stepping away from this community, because every single conversation is a discourse. All of them. There's no people talking about Smash Ultimate now or like talking about matchup charts that they may like or blah blah blah. It's all just discourse. I hate this character. You're carried if you play them, blah blah blah. And it's really frustrating. TLDR for Smash Ultimate, this game will always be very important to me. It's the first esport that I got into, and the game is also amazing, by the way. Like, as many characters as it is, and it's as balanced as it is, like, yeah, Steve's broken, but they did a great job. It's, like, the greatest fighting game ever made, and I had a lot of fun making content for it, especially tournament predictions and tournament recaps, especially when their tournament predictions were live. A ton of fun with those. Thank you to everyone who managed to, join those streams. But you're not going to be seeing any more Smash Ultimate content on this channel, and it is largely because the community has just been such a massive turnoff. Like, everywhere you go, any piece of content, people just interact with it so unbelievably negatively. And yeah, that's all I can really say. I wish I was leaving it on a less bitter note here. But, when I first got into the Smash Ultimate scene, I had no clue. I couldn't even fathom why Nintendo would want nothing to do with us. But as I'm leaving it, I wouldn't either. Like, I really wouldn't want these people to be running my esport and, like, representing my brand. I really wouldn't. So now let's move on to Rivals of Aether 2, which is recently what I have been focusing on for my channel. But again, I haven't been posting a ton of stuff about the game, and the big reason for that is, as I said with Smash Ultimate, I got into the game really early on as primarily just a fan of the esport. I really liked all of these top players. I was able to keep up with them all because I was just genuinely invested in their storylines. Never hate that with Rivals 2. Love the competitive scene for this game. Let's just not get that twisted. I absolutely love spectating Rivals 2. There's a ton of top players that are really fun to watch. But I never got that same level of investment, not even close to what I did with Smash Ultimate. And because of that, I don't think that my analysis is at the level that it was for Ultimate. Like, even when I first started talking about Smash Ultimate, I think I knew more about that game than I know about currently for Rivals 2, if that makes sense. Basically, what I'm saying is, I want to make analysis content if I want to make content for Rivals 2, but I'm not going to make content that's shit. I'm only going to make something if I'm 100% confident what I'm saying is correct, and I also think it's worth watching. And I just never really hit that point, at least consistently enough, where I was able to do stuff all the time for Rivals of Aether 2. So I still want to make content for this game. I still really, really enjoy the game, but I can't promise that I'm going to be consistently uploading videos, breakdowns, analyses, how to do guides for characters, because I'm still learning the game. Like, it's still relatively new to me. I'm only diamond. Like, come on, give me a break here. So yeah, I still love Rivals 2. I don't think you're going to see a big uptick on it on this channel, though, just because I don't want to be speaking out of my ass. I want to be speaking with truth. So you'll still, every time a new character comes out, I'll definitely be covering that. Maybe I'll cover some more tournament stuff as I get a little bit more comfortable with that in the future. But yeah, Rivals 2, I want to make sure if I'm making videos about that game, they're really, really good. So what is the future of this channel actually going to look like? What videos are you going to see? And again, you're not going to be seeing a lot. Like, I am probably never, ever going to hit the point that I was in, like, 2022, 2023, consistently uploading videos, like, 5 days a week or whatever I was doing. But I still want to make content on this channel. I don't want to fully abandon it. So you'll still see Rivals 2 stuff periodically. But what you'll probably see mainly on this channel now is going to be game reviews or movie reviews. Probably movie reviews to start off because that's a lot easier. Because I just think that's fun. Like, the reason I made this YouTube channel in the first place was just because I really liked Smash Ultimate, but none of my friends gave a fuck about it. So I just needed a space to talk about it. And that's what I use this YouTube channel for. And that's probably what I'm just going to be doing with movies. I'll go see a movie. If I liked it or didn't like it or just want to talk about it, I'll make a YouTube video on it. Aside from that, don't really know what the future is going to look like. Hopefully, you guys are interested in, like, video reviews or game reviews potentially. If not, again, you can just unsub. Like, hey, I appreciate you here or being here up until this point in the journey. You don't owe me nothing. And yeah, that's all I really got to say. Thank you everyone who's watched up until this point. I still love Rivals 2. I still like the game of Smash Ultimate. But the community is something that I want to distance myself from. Really negative space, doesn't portray themselves well, and complains too much. Yeah, that's all I really have to say. Thank you everyone for watching this video. Thank you everyone who supported my channel. And if there's a next time, then I'll see you next time.